This the War Report coming live every Tuesday at 7 with Steve, Cat, Ryan, Amanda, and Eric. And the voice of NEW, Vince Berry. Hitting all the topics like a clothesline flurry. Turn up your speakers and hear them out. You can listen from your car, even on your couch. They too raw, who NXT? Handing out SmackDowns, follow on IG. Plus, it's sponsored by Tag Me a Date. Go to YouTube and sub now for every update. It's all wrestling here. No safe space, now listen in. Time to hear from some of the greats.
What's that metronome I hear? Perhaps the end is drawing near. You never hear the shot that takes you down. Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine. And I dream broken dreams. I make them come true. I make them for you.
Welcome everybody to another edition of the War Report After Dark. I still say they should have gone back to this music when he returned. Drew McIntyre's old music, but he is back. He's got a game plan. It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out with Sami Zayn. But welcome everybody to another edition. As usual, a lot to cover as we are upon the return of Saturday night's main event with Governor Ventura. Jesse the Body coming back to the desk. So I'm very excited to see how that goes down. So welcome everybody. We got a lot to cover. How's everyone doing?
Yeah,
That's good news. And Steve, did you know that he not only is it just for that, he's going to be at all of them?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So it's going to be interesting.
Little bit of nostalgia with him coming back. You know, I really truly recall one of the first announcers, color commentators that I've heard, and you know, got me excited. It's like, oh wow, this guy's different.
Yeah,
you know, it was him. So it was pretty cool to see and hear.
Tara's checking in. Say hi, Tara. How are you? So I don't know where we should start. We have a lot of stuff going on. I do want to first. We had a lot of injuries at War Games.
Yeah.
And one is Big Bronson Reed, and I'm heartbroken because he's missing Mania. They're saying he's out past Mania with a broken ankle. I mean, listen, when you're 380 something fucking pounds and you go off the top of that cage. But yeah, so we're gonna be without Bronson through Mania, which sucks. But we'll see. I don't know. And then the another injury with the Bloodline 2.0. The big Tongan. What's his name?
Loa.
Yeah, Loa. So he's, I think, tore his bicep right off the bone. So he's out.
Don't forget about Jimmy. He broke his toe.
But that shouldn't keep him out too long, I wouldn't think, right? I mean, not as long as the other two anyway.
Right. Yeah, definitely not longer than the other two, but he should be out for a while. So, I mean, what do you do with this? I mean, you're really speaking if at worst case scenario, based on players that you could miss out on both sides, they kind of lucked out storytelling wise on the guys that it was, because you could tell the story without Jimmy, and
Right.
you could definitely tell the story without Braun because he just got there 7 hours ago, and we lost the worst Tongan. Like in reality, like the guy
That is true.
didn't do much. So I don't think storytelling wise they should.
It's definitely not going to
deviate.
affect the story.
Right, exactly. I don't think they should deviate much, if at all, from what they were planning to tell us, which is a good sign, taking out 3 injuries in one match.
Yeah, yeah, but significant injuries too. So, but it does suck. Bronson was finally getting a push,
Yeah,
and
that's the only thing that sucks.
you know,
You know what though? I think they will bring him back with the same theme, and just let him be an animal as soon as he gets back.
oh, he'll be a
Like
monster.
I could see that, and he's gonna go right probably to the main event. Don't know if he'll win right away. Depends on the crowd's reaction. Because things change at any second.
Do you foresee him still being with the associated with the bloodline?
Absolutely, I do.
I think
I
fit
think it
right
all
in.
it depends how hot the bloodline is by the time they get back.
yeah, that's true.
Because they
That
said
is true.
significant time. If we're talking about a year plus, how much longer do we have this bloodline thing before they veer off and do their own thing?
I mean, it's already been 4 years.
And we've been saying, and we've been
What's
saying
another
this for
four
a while.
years? You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Especially if you keep adding new characters, which these new guys haven't been there long.
I mean, considering these people, procreate like rabbits,
That
there's
bloodline
always
runs deep.
another Samoan somewhere.
You still got Zilla Fatu, who, I mean, it's just a matter of when, not if. He's
And throwing-
fantastic. And he's in Booker T's school. I think he's with MLW. He's doing a bunch of different things, so he's well on his way. And then you got that other one that apparently signed already. We just haven't seen him yet. The big tall guy. I forget his name.
Tala Tonga or something like that. Tala for tall.
Hikuleo or whatever.
Hikaleo. I think
Yeah,
that
Hikaleo.
sounds right. Yeah, something like that. So, I mean, so you have more. Right there, you got two more that you could throw in at any time. Zilla used to team with Jacob on the Indies too.
Okay.
So, he's young. He's good. Umaga's kid. So
Umaga's kid was caught. I seen a video today actually. He won a match and he's looking in the camera and to the crowd talking about like, "What up, Solo?"
Yep.
Talking shit about Solo. I was like, "Oh, that's interesting."
He was on Busted Open and was interviewed. And he said that he gave Solo his first rock bottom in the pool when he was 8 years old. So, I mean, this shit just runs
Plus,
so
he
deep.
said that he sees Roman as his tribal chief.
He did. He said
He did.
Roman is his tribal chief because he doesn't appreciate that Solo's using his dad's finisher. Matter of fact, he was at an indie show and Armando Estrada was managing him, who used to manage Umaga.
Yes, I did see that. Yeah.
I should have went to his table at WrestleCade. Zilla, he was there.
He was there?
Yeah.
Probably wasn't much either. But he looks just like him. He's talented. So it's just a matter of when. Definitely
Right.
not if. Especially you're at Booker T's school. So and Booker T's like family because Booker T was closer with Umaga.
You know what's
So there's
great? You know what's crazy about the story, Steve? Now that I'm thinking about it, eventually, when this civil war runs out, if you have enough Samoan, you could kind of do an internal NWO-ish kind of rivalry with them.
it's like the true Samoan dynasty.
It's like we're that
And just
big.
put them all together.
We're that big. We're gonna take over this shit. And what are you gonna do about it?
But see, and I love that. But you still have to have one tribal chief. And it's got to be Roman.
Of course, that
Roman.
is inevitable. I believe.
And Solo has said quite a few times that if he loses to Roman and the Ulufala, then he will, say that Roman is the tribal chief and he will step down.
He has always said he wants what's best for the family. So we'll see how far and true that is.
Dave Abbey over at YouTube. Speaking of rock bottoms, do you think Rocky shows up for Netflix? I think it's very possible. Everything I'm hearing about this initial Raw on Netflix, it's going to be like a Mania. You're going to have huge names. You're going to have big matches. The rumor is you're going to have the Seth Rollins CM Punk match at that Raw. So, yeah, I could see Rock being there for sure.
Bold prediction. I think Rock comes out and he's going to challenge Cody for the title at the Rumble.
That is a bold
It's bold.
I could see it though. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, it really depends on his movie schedule.
And then, but although on the other side of things, I would totally be okay with KO taking the belt right now.
Well, yeah, and I said it last week too. I think Kevin Owens goes over. I think Cody loses. You know what it is too? This is the first time Saturday night's main event has been back in a very long time, right? So you got to make it something that is memorable and something that, like really like blows people's minds. Cody losing to Kevin Owens at Saturday night's main event could be that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's not a PLE, but it kind of is. You know what I mean? It's only 2 hours on network TV. But
like the way it was, back in the day, it was a big show. It was like the mini pay-per-view in a way.
Dave Abbey says not going to happen because of money. I'm telling you, I think it's happening. I do.
Now, Steve, let me ask you a question. If Kevin Owens does win the title, who's his Mania opponent? Is it Randy Orton or is it Sami Zayn?
Or is it a triple threat?
Or
Fatal 4-Way.
Yep. That's true too.
But the other question too is going to be, what's Randy Orton's mindset going to be when he comes back?
Yeah.
Did that pile driver turn him back into the insane Randy Orton that could be?
Did his IED come back?
I can't wait till that Orton comes back.
Oh, it's going to be great.
I need Psycho Orton back. I need skinny Psycho Orton with the shaved head looking crazy back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's time. I'd be good with that. So, we should go into a little bit of SmackDown, a little bit of Raw. What do you guys want to talk about first? Anything in particular?
I guess SmackDown.
Go SmackDown.
If that's the order. The DIY turn. That was very, very well done.
It was very well done because I did not see that coming with Gargano.
And
that was very good.
Not only that, but now, you know me, normally I would complain about a title change like that just after, it happened before. But storyline purposes, this worked out.
I agree. And I think it's going to lead to more great matches between the two of them. So I'm on board. I thought it was very well done. I didn't see it coming.
And then you got to think that DIY or just one of them also are responsible for the attack on Street Profits.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think it was, that's going to come out next week, I'm sure. I don't think that's going to be any big secret. We had Naomi versus Tiffany Stratton versus Elektra Lopez. Obviously, Tiffy was going to go over in her hometown. She did not cash in as I predicted she would in her hometown, but she was definitely over in that match. Hometown loved her, and she got the win, which is actually quite unusual. But I was glad to see Tiffy go over. I thought a great promo with Chad Gable and Cody Rhodes, which led up to a match later on. But Chad Gable's great. He's great in the ring. He's great on the mic. It was just a great promo, and Cody cuts a good promo. So I thought that went over really well, and that led to a great match in the main event. Bianca versus Piper Niven. That was a great match because Bianca's just such a fucking powerhouse. And the way she's able to pick up Piper and move her around in the ring is just incredible. And then Chelsea, of course, being there is just gold. Anything she does, any opportunity she has on TV, she hits a home run. So I'm not mad at that. We're still trying to figure out who done it to Jade Cargill. Most people still think that it's Bianca.
You think so?
Do I think so?
I mean,
I
If it
mean,
is her, then we're not going to find out now because I think the whole
I will
thing
say this: we haven't had a heel Bianca
ever.
at all since she's been to the main roster.
Correct. And I never seen her in NXT, so for me, it'll be a fresh new thing.
Right.
But I honestly think if it's her, we won't find out till Jade comes back and she's haunting that person and she's helping her out, finding her, and next thing you know, they're in the ring and she hits her with the old Seth Rollins in the back, but hits her with an elbow, and everybody starts booing her. But
Right.
if we find out early, I think it's somebody else. And it's somebody else, I mean Charlotte Flair.
I mean, it'd be a hell of a thing.
You're
if it was
sticking with Charlotte Flair.
I'm sticking with Charlotte Flair.
You got to be fair to Flair.
That'd be quite an impactful return too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else I really liked on SmackDown? I liked when Kevin Owens told Michael Cole that if he wanted to interview him, he had to come to his rental car. And that they had the interview in his rental car and then ultimately got kicked out of said rental car.
Please leave my rental vehicle.
Right now.
That was great.
And then he
Such a
calls him
great
back.
promo.
Then he goes, "Hey, Michael." And he comes back and he closes the window on him.
Yeah. He's such a great dick. Like, he's always been, like, no matter what, whether he's heel or face, but he's such a great dick. Like, he was just awesome. Kevin Owens is great. All these promos are great. And then when he showed up at the end, and then the battle, the brawl ensued, which was great at the end. It was a good SmackDown. It was a good way to get through it all.
Question is he over enough in this character to upset in the main event at Cody Rhodes?
Who? Kevin Owens?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's still Kevin Owens.
I think the last days ago run of Cody Rhodes is making us request Kevin Owens to take it from him. Because I think the majority of you ask us, we're probably going to say, yeah, that'll be a great swerve.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? What do you guys think that are listening? What do you guys think? Put your opinion. Do you think it's an upset? Would you like to see Cody lose the belt, or do you want Cody to keep the belt? What do
I
you
want
think,
it.
Eric?
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Eric, go ahead. What do you think?
I mean, I'm good either way, but I would not be mad if Kevin Owens won the title. He hasn't had it a world title in a long time. It's been 7-8 years, so it's time.
I'm rooting for Kevin Owens.
Yeah, me too. I would definitely want that to happen. And who knows? Maybe you could, I don't know, maybe do a triple threat from here.
And like Steve said with the Saturday night's main event, that would, be a great way to, because the fans would not expect this title change to go down. And
Correct.
if it does go down, it would be huge.
Right.
I have a question. Is Nia Jax defending her belt at main event or no? No, right?
No, I don't think so.
So there's no girl. Oh, is it the IC and the Women U.S. Championship that'll be crowned that night?
I'll pull it up. I'll pull up the card when we're done with Raw, and I'll see what the lineup is.
Okay.
Because I can't remember off the top of my head.
And then the only thing else I could think of on SmackDown was the Bloodline, what they did.
What do you mean?
They attacked, when LA Knight was confronting Shinsuke, and then
that was great.
Oh, right. Yes.
And then they beat the shit out of them.
Yeah. Well, the Bloodline, and when they first came in, they beat up security and this and that.
Yep,
And it was only through them. Anything you do with Jacob Fatu, at the end of the day, is gold. David Rosca, who will win the Women's United States Champion? That's a good question. Is that the one that Chelsea Green's going for?
My problem with that is
I can't remember who's going for the
Tiffy-
Women's US or the IC.
Me neither. But I do know this. Whichever one Tiffy's in is a problem for me because Chelsea's on the other side and Tiffy's on one side. And for some reason, I think they will put the title on Tiffy. I think if you look at that bracket,
But the title's going on Tiffy when she cashes in. They're not going to give her.
you don't
Right.
think
So I don't necessarily even see her advancing more in the tournament.
Yeah, I don't know. Dave Abbey, I'd love to see it, but if he doesn't, there needs to be another massive storyline because Cody is stale. Well, that's very true. But that's, something Vince has been saying ever since he won the title. What are you going to do with him once he wins? And
Yeah.
you still haven't really figured
it's like,
it out.
Yeah, it's like the plan was to get him the belt, but there was no plan afterwards.
It's like he's lost without the story. Like if it's not about the story, he don't know what to do.
Right. Dave Abbey thinks Bailey is going to be the United States Women's champion, which I could see that also.
Oh wait. Was the New Day on Raw?
Yes.
The New Day is Raw.
We didn't talk about New Day.
Oh,
That was a great
we're
promo.
getting to that.
Oh, we're getting to. I'm sorry. I'm jumping ahead.
Well, yeah, no. Well, let's get there now because
I have 2 words for that. Nuclear heat.
it was Dominic Mysterio type heat.
Yes.
That's what that was. They didn't even let them cut a fucking promo. It was great.
That was the best promo they could have cut.
That
How
was
much more
amazing.
heat do
the
you
last
need?
3 weeks of the New Day have been very, amazing.
Yeah.
I'm just upset they didn't go full heel already. Like I would have been, man, F them fans.
Dave
you
Abbey,
want to be
Bailey-
like that?
Bailey's going to win the U.S. and Lyra's going to win the IC. I'd be okay with that combination.
Yeah.
I would be good with that. But
I got to see brackets because I got to have better picks than that.
Yeah. That is true.
well, Lyra's not a bad pick. Lyra's good.
She's good, but I saw the brackets before, and in both those brackets, I definitely had bigger names than that. Like Chelsea, I definitely got her over that. I would put a strap on Tiffy before I put another one on Bailey again. Although
You
she is a
can't-
bad.
You can't as Money in the Bank. I don't see her getting any belt that she doesn't cash in and get at this point, which is
She
going to
could
be the World Championship.
Who knows? We've seen weirder things.
Tara thinks it's going to be Chelsea and Lyra. I can be down with that combination too. We'll have to see where it goes. Moving on, Monday Night Raw. You had CM Punk, Seth Rollins continues, where Seth Rollins talks about his. Well, actually, no, forget that. Before we get into that, you brought up New Day. Let's talk New Day. Not only did they not let them cut the promo, but their whole reaction to everyone, like, how do you not see where we're coming from, or what did we say that was wrong, is what made that everything.
Yeah.
Like, they just really don't grasp what they did and the
They were,
consequence
confused,
behind it.
Yeah, and it showed. It was their body language was fantastic.
It was so good. It was so good.
And we've never seen Kofi heel before, really.
I don't think so.
Like there was that brief, at the beginning when they tried to make New Day faces, and then they were heels for like a few weeks, and then what do
Look
we
at
get?
Abby's comment. I love it.
Dave Abbey over at YouTube. Don't you dare skip over the Final Testament's last ever win in WWE. But you know what? They got over. They got the win over
And Uncle
over the
Howdy took
Wyatts.
pin.
Huh?
And Uncle Howdy took the pin.
Yeah?
I have a question. What does this say about now the situation with Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Six? The fact that he took a pin from them.
Well, they got screwed. Because Scarlett got involved in the distraction, so it wasn't really clean. It doesn't hurt the Wyatt Six, I don't think. They can't win every time. So,
They've only had like 4 matches.
And
yeah, but I mean, they have to seem somewhat beatable, especially when there's shenanigans. And there was shenanigans.
I also kind of liked Cross basically saying, "Miz, we're not done with you yet."
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like he's like stuck in the Final Testament and he can't get out.
Oh, and Paul Ellering threw the powder in
Right.
Howdy's face too. So it was a dirty
Well,
win.
yeah, there was a lot of BS. Yeah, I just didn't like the fact that Howdy was the one that got pinned, and it was like, whoa, you could have gotten anybody else pinned in there.
David Roska, Bailey versus Chelsea Green this Friday night on SmackDown, and Michin versus Tiffy on SmackDown as well.
So
So
Tiffy advances.
Tiffy
and
goes
who else?
over, and Bailey versus Chelsea. I mean,
I got Chelsea.
That's the tough one. I got
I'm
Chelsea.
hoping Chelsea goes over, but the
I
thing,
got-
maybe
Screw her
Michin,
over.
maybe Michin goes over on Tiffy.
No way.
I'd even be
Think so.
happy if she won the belt in the end.
I'd be all right with that too. She's been working her ass off.
She is a workhorse. And she's never gonna get a WWE championship shot, I believe, so she should get a mid card. But I don't see how I mean, it's possible, but I don't know. It's
And
tough
the
to say
funny-
she beats Tiff.
Yeah, and the funny thing about Chelsea too is that she's almost at the point where she might start getting cheered. You know, I mean, in some ways she does, because they
So-
love her antics. You know,
The next match was Dakota Kai versus Liv Morgan, which I was thoroughly entertained up until this fucking match got ruined. Shall I say really afterwards. I guess WWE decided we've been lacking shit-stained Starks and her CTR, whatever the fuck they're called, group, who we all know I can't stand, ruined what was left of Monday Night Raw for me. Because, as you all know, I'm not a fan of any of them.
Steve,
Yeah.
now that we're on the subjects of shit stains, could you play something for me, please?
You know, I'm not very happy with this situation. I just want to kind of set this up. I kind of came on quite pissed off because I was sent a video. A video that I was told not to watch. But I'm
Thank you,
glad I
Dave.
did. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad I watched it prior because that gave me a chance to kind of put this together and show it to all of you. But our good friend Dave Abbey, who knows how much I can't stand shit-stained Starks. Well, for those of you that aren't in the know, let me show you kind of a little bit of what I'm talking about.
Before you show it, Dave, I'm sorry he saw it beforehand. Is that I had no way. Vince wouldn't answer me. He's too busy, so I had to tell him to put it on the show. I'm sorry, buddy.
Can you hear anything?
No. Now I can.
Let's try that again.
So no world championship title match? What are we doing? I don't
I must have,
I just realized.
I must have made it. Look at his face.
Steve,
I
I, thought
have-
you were going to kick her.
I have my cursor on Kick from Studio right now.
Oh my god.
I had to. I'm sorry.
If you only knew the mood he was in.
Oh, you derailed a tirade.
Today was not the day.
I was doing the tirade. That's why I was debating the past 2 minutes if I was going to do this or not, and I said screw it. We already
Today
fired
is
me once
not
already
the
today.
Oh,
day.
wild. Oh, my God.
We already fired me once today. What's two times in one day?
So that's how this first came to be. So as everyone is aware, I am not a fan. And for those of you who are just listening, if you go and watch the video, you'll be able to actually see this video. We are sharing it on the screen. So with that being said, today, Dave Abbey, our good friend over at YouTube, you fucker, had a video made in response to my displeasure of shit-stained Starks and her group. So I bring to you my worst nightmare coming true.
Oh no, a guy who doesn't like PFC. You know what's even more ridiculous is that your friend actually sent me a cameo to pay me money to let me know that you don't like PFC. In all honesty, I really don't care. Because at the end of the day, I'm living my dream while you're trying to figure life out and whatever else. So go ahead, be insecure about the 3 women who are going to be running Raw and your future Intercontinental Women's Champion. So it is okay that you don't like me. Again, don't care. It's not going to ruin my day. You're not in my head. So enjoy life, because I'm definitely enjoying mine while I sit here in my nice car, my nice home, and living the best life I could possibly live. Bye.
I hate her.
That is so awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dave.
Holy shit.
Dave Abbey, go fuck yourself. I love you. Go fuck yourself. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That was
Zoe
great.
Shitstain Starks, ladies and gentlemen, responding to my hatred of her and the Stooges.
You should be proud.
I am.
Your
I
hatred
am.
is heard. Yes.
So,
She
yeah.
probably
So,
went in the ring and thought about you.
Dave Abbey, I tried to get her to call you Shitstain Steve. That
Oh my
would have
God.
been amazing.
That would have been great.
Well, moving on. So,
That is insane.
Drew McIntyre, they played a package. I thought was really well done. You know, everything he always says is so true. Like, you can't even argue. He's constantly been screwed. And then constantly screwed by the bloodline, and then all the people flocked right back to Roman at the snap of a finger. Like, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. And that's the biggest case with these guys that look like they're turning heel right now, but at the end of the day, they're just being realistic. This guy literally made their life a living hell, and they all went back. Like, I understand the family, but Sammy, Cody, like, it's weird. So I understand it where he's coming from storyline wise.
Well, yeah, no, it definitely makes sense, for sure.
You know, like storyline wise, like just think about that. Like, you're cool with your friends. Put it in just regular people perspective. You and your boys, you've been beefing with these guys all day, every day for years. All of a sudden, they get in an argument with guys from another town, and you go defend them. Like, you're gonna be like, bro, what are you doing? Like, why would you go do that? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
So I get
That's
him.
true. Anything goes match. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel. It was a great match.
That was a very good match.
It's a great match.
They have great chemistry because apparently they either were or are best friends or very good friends. They work out together, all that
Yeah.
stuff. So, you know, it shows.
And they're
work
both
together
big
well.
women. So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
they work well together.
And neither one looked weak in the match either way. So it was a good show in both ways.
Yeah, I agree. It was well done. Saturday night's a main event. So right now we have Cody versus Kevin Owens. We all agree, right? Kevin's going over.
I would hope so. Yes.
Women's Championship, we got Liv Morgan versus Io Sky. I think Liv is going to retain, but I think that's going to be a great match. I'm enjoying a face Io Sky. We haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah.
I like the way she's playing up to the crowd and all that. Gunther versus Finn Balor. I mean, Gunther's got to go over. I wouldn't be surprised if Finn loses because maybe Dominic fucks up somehow and like costs him the match.
Batista in it, and now it's a triple threat.
That's right. They did. They made it a triple threat. You're right. That's a good call.
Was the triple threat? Oh, Baylor, Damian, and Gunther.
And Gunther. But I think Gunther leaves as champion.
Well, yes, I don't see Finn Balor winning nor Damon. So yes, you're correct. However, I did hear that Finn Balor is due for a major character change. I don't know what that means, but I hear he's going to get a little run.
Oh,
So
that's
we have to see
interesting.
how this develops after this loss. Maybe I think you will see a sign of that if Damon Priest is the one to take the pin and not Finn Balor. And then he'll have justification of, hey, you didn't pin me, and then he could still go after Gunther. Which
That's
I
interesting.
think might happen, and then you might get either some form of vibration of the demon or some supernatural shit, and we probably won't see it till he comes out that day for that match, and he might take the belt. That's what I'm predicting.
Al, last week, were you the one that said something about Balor possibly being kicked out of Judgment Day?
No. I said that there
Or
is
do you
a
think
rumor about
Dominic?
Balor that that this Dominic, because Liv starts getting feelings for Balor and they start having a
Oh,
relationship.
right. That thing, which is awesome.
Okay.
But
Right.
if you saw, did you notice the look on Dom's face when Finn Balor said what he said about him in reference to Gunther giving a title match out?
Oh, right, to the wrong guy.
Like,
yeah, I noticed.
Someone
There's
who
a
didn't deserve it, like Dom.
right.
And
Somebody
then
who didn't
it
deserve
was
it.
like there was a brief,
Well, they've been brewing tension. If you notice, for the last few weeks, there's a little. It started as competition, but now it has become tension, specifically between those two. So I do
and not only
see
that, Pierce ordered them to defend the belts, the tag belts, which they only done once or
twice,
twice since they've had it.
I believe.
Against the War Raiders once again. And
They're about to lose those two. I think they're about to lose everything because
it's
Judgment Day
time,
is
yeah.
imploding.
Right.
They're crumbling.
And I think you're going to have Liv and Dom go off on their own.
And then the last
You
piece
think
of
Liv
the
and Dom
puzzle,
are going to stay together?
I do. Initially, I do.
Unless the last piece of the puzzle is Liv losing the title to Rhea.
I don't. I mean, again, I guess if you're done with her, right? But if you're gonna let her grow, I think you let her lose that belt at WrestleMania. Well, at worst case, the Royal Rumble. I don't think you need to lose it. And again, Royal Rumble's down the street in February, so I guess it's not too far fetched.
Yeah. I mean,
might
I
happen.
could see Rhea winning the Rumble, and that's how she gets her rematch with Liv. I don't see Liv losing the title anytime soon.
Yeah, I think a run to WrestleMania will be justice. I don't think that's a bad thing for her.
So what else?
What else did we have? There's only 3 matches, right? So far
No, there was the
for main event Saturday main event.
yeah. You had oh wait, hold on, Dave Abbey. It was interesting seeing Io and Rhea holding the belt at the end. Well, yeah, absolutely. That was a good moment.
Is that foreshadowing for things to come? I'm assuming.
Probably because they're both going to be trying to become number one contender to go back after Liv.
I mean, could that be your main event at WrestleMania? If we're looking in the future that way, one of them has the belt and the other one wins the. If Rhea happens to lose it earlier, and one of them wins the Rumble. Because if you think about it right now, what other 2 women that deserve a push? Because you got to take. If you take. Jesus Christ. I forgot her name right now. But if you see right now, out of the whole tag team champ, what's her name? The one that's active, the girl, the Kiss girl, with the
Asuka?
no, with the pigtail, swings it.
Oh.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Bianca.
Bianca. Oh my God, Bianca Belair. Yes. If you take Bianca Belair out of the equation, if you notice, it's definitely Io and Liv and the rest. So if you're gonna give the shot that way, unless you put them in the elimination chamber match and one of them comes alive. So outside of Liv, those are the only 2 women I can see main eventing for the belt. Again, if somebody doesn't come from the outside, like a like a Miss Flair or a Becky Lynch, I could definitely see that happening. It's one of them that's going to be the next main eventer, with or without Liv.
I mean, I guess that's true. There's just so many moving parts. It really depends on so many different factors right now. And you have so many viable contenders and ones that are going to be returning in time for WrestleMania season. Charlotte's already been seen getting back in the ring and getting reps in. So she's getting ready, and I heard Alexa Bliss too.
do you throw Charlotte in a championship match right away after she's been gone so much? Because she could definitely have a WrestleMania match without a title involved, which gives women an extra match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I
What
don't
do you
think
think
they
about
throw
it?
her right into the title mix.
Right. So, like,
Because the
I,
match with Charlotte is a
I
marquee
mean,
match.
correct. So she did. That's why I'm always a big fan of Charlotte not needing a belt to go into a WrestleMania to showcase something. Like she's at that point that she could. She's
She's reached
just
that Undertaker level she's an attraction.
right. I mean, she's damn near one of the best to ever do it, if not the best to ever do it. So she's up there.
Oh, she's amazing. You never bet against Flair. That's for
Never.
sure. If she's in the match,
male or female.
yeah, that's true. That's very true. Interesting. Segment with Carmelo Hayes, where he was talking to the GM. And it sounds like he's going to have a match next week. And it almost sounded like it was going to be somebody new. And there's rumors that are circling that it's going to be the debut of Pentagon.
Jesus Christ, that would be insane.
Could you imagine that as his first match with Carmelo Hayes?
Oh, that'd be amazing. Now, is Ray Phoenix coming with him, or is it just Penta that's signed right
He's
now?
still stuck in a contract.
Yeah,
Okay.
Tony's not letting him out. So that's going to be a waiting game. But they're not using him either. They're just like letting him sit and rot, which sucks.
I could have sworn that Penta would have been a excellent Royal Rumble contestant.
Oh, for like the debut?
Yeah, like I think
Yeah.
that would have been like some AJ Styles ish. Because at this point he's on TV, so enough people know him.
Listen, they might still. I
And
might be wrong.
Those that only know him from AEW probably are, narrow-minded and think that he's only one of those flippy guys. He's so much more than that. If you've seen his stuff in Lucha Underground, he's despite not speaking English really, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah, that's true. And him and his brother together are just insane.
Yeah, they're
They have chemistry like Jimmy and Jay do.
Yeah, and then especially now they have the Machine Guns around, and there's some good tag teams.
Well, Triple H has always obviously been very big on tag teams, and he's rebuilding the tag team division on both ends with the women too, which is great.
And the interesting part is that he's actually dedicating storylines, long storylines to them. That in the past it was just a short match, a little rivalry, boom, move on to the next one. They're actually building on them, which is great.
Yeah.
Like that thing he did with DIY, it was awesome. It was a great.
Because you just didn't see it. But you know what? It's the same thing with that, where you didn't see it coming, and it was the same thing with the New Day, because you
Correct.
didn't see Kofi
You
turning.
didn't. So it was two different swerves.
Two huge heel turns in the same week too.
That's true. Both
Yeah.
tag teams.
Now,
I guess
wait,
that means maybe they're not going to turn the profits now.
I was
you can't
just
turn
about to
everybody
ask,
heel.
don't the Prophet have a match coming up soon?
Well, they were
tag team-
taken. They were
supposed
supposed
to
to
get
be
the
in that
titles.
match, and they got taken out.
Taken out,
That's-
right?
Which we
DIY.
can only assume DIY took them out.
And I think it was Gargano.
I think it was both of them.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, right. That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
Because Johnny, conveniently walked up and said, "Oh, hey, we can take their place."
Right.
Yeah. Talk about right place, right time.
Right. It'll be interesting, though. I mean, I'm definitely excited about the tag team division. It reminds me of, a golden era, I could say, and an attitude era when they actually gave a fuck about them.
There were two
So,
times, two eras where the tag team division was insane. One, like you said, is the Attitude Era. Mainly it was, Dudley's, Hardy's, and Edge and Christian, right?
And please don't forget about the Road Dogg Jesse James and the badass Billy
Yeah.
Gunn.
The
Outlaws,
new
APA.
Age Outlaws.
Yeah, they were. For me, that was my favorite tag team in that time.
I mean, then there was, teams that were, not top, but they were entertaining, like Too Cool or Kai and Tai,
right. Absolutely.
And then the other was the golden era of the Hulkamania era, when you
Right.
like Heart Foundation and Demolition and
The Rockers, Legion of Doom, Demolition. I mean, you had the natural disasters even were great.
IRS,
IRS,
yeah, Money Inc.
well, Money
Powers of
Inc.
Pain,
Money,
Yeah,
Money,
Powers of
Rhythm and
Pain.
Blues,
Yeah, there were some. The
Rougeos.
Nasty Boys.
Yeah.
Talk about
Routine.
entertaining.
the
Like
Natural
there were
Bulldogs,
Disasters.
the Bulldogs. Yep. I mean,
Even
there
the
were so many
Bushwhackers.
great. The
Bushwhackers.
They were fucking great.
the Young
Yeah,
Stallions,
great. They were
the Bolsheviks,
glorified
the
jobbers.
Killer Bees.
Killer Bees. Yeah,
Killer Bees.
there were so many great tag teams.
There was a lot, man. There was so many. So
I mean,
many.
and so many great factions. Now, here's a question. We have some time. Who do you think wins down the line? Greatest faction of all time between NWO and the Bloodline?
Wow.
I will have to say Bloodline because of longevity.
Well, if you're devil's advocate, if you're going to talk longevity, the NWO is over 20 years old. And you still see NWO shirts at every wrestling show that you see on TV or that you go to.
No, I'm talking about actively on TV.
Well,
Before
the
they
NWO,
imploded.
how long was the NWO run? Do we know? Eric, you're better with that kind of shit.
Like it was technically,
3
it
years?
was really like three and a half years.
Yeah, it wasn't that long, brother. They
Wow, so
imploded.
really? And then,
Yeah.
so
and
yeah.
not
so,
only that, keep in mind the NWO for the first 8-9 months, possibly a year, was interesting, was personal, was a great collective group of individuals that were all great wrestlers. At a point, they got watered down. The Bloodline has kept it very, very close knit for a very long time. You talked about a 4-man team with the Wise Man, and at a point a 5-man team max that ran wrestling. And now you divided them into 2 groups that are headlining with no titles, not a singular. Well, you have the tag team titles, you have the tag team titles, but yeah, you have no titles relevant, and you're still headlining pretty much everything you touch. So much so they had to make sure the WWE champion didn't have a match in the same pay-per-view as you. That way he didn't have to look bad for not main eventing.
I can't argue that. I cannot argue that at all.
Stuff.
And I can't imagine. And this Bloodline storyline could honestly, with like we've said before, because of how many there are, as long as they all keep coming into the wrestling business, this storyline can go another 20, 30 fucking years. Way past after we're still here.
And Steve, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. You threw in there NWO, but I don't know, man. I think DX could give NWO a run for their money. And the reason for that, for me, is the fact that they battled every single babyface and had great matches with them. And not only that, upped their level. They did The Rock. They did it with Mankind. They did it with The Undertaker. They did it with Stone Cold. And then they turned around, became babyfaces, and then did it with all the heels.
So
And not only that, they created one of the greatest tag team in that time. They had the first woman intercontinental champion, and they had multiple WWE heavyweight champions, European championships.
As much as I absolutely love DX and was always a very big fan of DX, when it comes to the NWO, what I think made that better, originally anyway, is the whole story and how you were made to believe that they were truly invading from WWE onto Nitro. And then the whole war that it created that dominated WWE for an absurd amount of time before Vince ultimately bought out his competition. So
I believe the storyline is better. I just think the team is better. It's like a better group. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can separate the two.
I don't know. I don't know if you could separate them or not.
It's a great question.
It is a great question.
Maybe we should Google that.
See what Siri says.
Yeah, right.
Eric, what's your take?
Oh God, it's tough.
I know, it is tough.
In one, like, you for nostalgia purposes, you automatically say, "Oh, NWO," and that's that. But already, the bloodline has gone on longer than the NWO did. And I see there's more with the NWO. It was kind of, especially when it started to get watered down, but it was like cursed in a way because it was too many big egos. Whereas with the bloodline, okay, yeah, Roman was a huge egomaniac during his run, but ultimately we could have all these people becoming one whole huge faction.
Yep.
You can have
So,
like the
time will
real
tell,
like
but-
Samoan dynasty run the place.
Time will tell, but the bloodline is up there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, just the fact that they keep signing them, right? And
Oh,
we
yeah.
keep seeing a bunch of them in the indies.
Yeah, I think Lloyd Anoa'i, or is that the same as L.A. Smooth? I don't know, but they've got
Yeah.
several more.
Dave Abbey. All I have to say is finger poke of doom.
Pretty much.
That really told you everything you needed to know. That's true.
Oh man,
That's
that
true.
finger poke of doom. Like that's why, man. Like, bro, I think you're not really thinking about DX, bro. Leaving them out there, it's tough. How do you leave DX out of there? They were the pinnacle of the tag team division in the Attitude Era and held the belts longer than any other team.
You know what else just still to this day makes me laugh? The two that caused Vince the biggest headaches with this whole DX thing are now running the company.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
I love that.
And Vince is gone. It's unbelievable. All right, you guys have anything else you want to cover? We are now getting close to the top of the hour.
No, I'm good, man.
I think we covered everything.
I think
Yeah.
so.
I think so.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and checking us out. As always, every Tuesday night, 9 p.m., we will bring you all the latest news and information, anything related to pro wrestling. Tell your friends if you like the show, share it, like it. We're all over the place with TikTok and Facebook Reels and Instagram Reels and then, of course, YouTube and Facebook pages. Any streaming that you can go to, you can find us anywhere. But check us out. Let your friends know. Tune in every Tuesday. We want to thank you all for joining us, and we will see you right here next week live on the War Report After Dark. Thank you guys so much. See you next week.